you will discover an ancient secret, a secret revealed by Thoth, and you only need to experience it once for your vibration to never be the same again. And I'm not talking about something complicated. I'm talking about a sound, a frequency that, when chanted consciously, instantly reorganizes your entire energy field. But before I show you what this sound is, I need to show you how it works. So let's begin. Close your eyes for 2 seconds. Feel your chest and perceive the silence within. From that silence, sound emerges, and when it vibrates, the entire universe responds. But only a few know how to sing it correctly, and if you do it wrong, it won't work. That's why you must persevere until the end, because I will show you step by step how to activate this vibration. Once you succeed, even the surrounding chaos will no longer be able to stop you. Separate the spirit stone with care and wisdom, because everything vibrates in visible and invisible layers, and those who understand vibration can move worlds without moving from their place. Now that you understand that your vibration creates your reality, it's time to reveal something most people don't talk about. For centuries, your frequency didn't form by chance. It was programmed. Programmed to vibrate in low, dense states: fear, guilt, anger, insecurity, sadness. All of these have been instilled in you since you began to understand the world. You weren't born that way. You were taught this vibration because those who vibrate at a low level live at a low level. They live limited, controlled lives. Observe society. What are we taught from a young age? Fear of failure. If we feel guilty, it's because we have a conscience. Anger is bad, but inevitable. You see, it all comes down to emotions compressing our energy field. Hermes once said it. What's inside is outside, and this isn't empty philosophy. It's a universal principle that shapes the reality around you without you even realizing it. When fear grips you, the outside world feels threatening. When guilt grips you, everything around you feels like constant condemnation. When anger grips you, everything around you feels like confrontation. And what perpetuates this invisible cycle day after day? A cycle you've never learned to break. You feel fear, you think negatively, and you reinforce that fear. You feel guilty. You judge yourself internally, and you feel even more guilty. You feel anger. You harbor aggressive thoughts, and you attract other situations that trigger the same anger. Thus, your vibrational field spins like a rusty cog, repeating patterns that seem indestructible. But they are not. Modern science has already begun to demonstrate this. The HeartMath Institute, for example, has shown that the heart's energy field not only exists, but can also extend several meters beyond the body when we enter into emotional coherence. This means that what we feel literally creates a domino effect around us. It's not just internal, it's external too. Your vibration isn't limited to your chest. It extends outward and influences people, environments, and situations. Imagine what happens when you spend days, weeks, or months vibrating in fear and insecurity. This field around you attracts people who reinforce that fear, situations that fuel this insecurity, and opportunities that don't elevate you, but keep you stuck where you are. Because energy is cyclical, it returns at the same frequency you emitted. This is why so many people live their entire lives without realizing they are trapped in the vibrational field they themselves created. You change cities, jobs, or relationships, but the inner feeling remains the same because you haven't changed your frequency. You've just changed your environment. Now take a deep breath and pay attention, because what I'm about to tell you is simple, but it can change everything. It's not the events that shape your frequency, but the emotions you harbor during those events. Two people can experience the same situation. One vibrates with fear and becomes paralyzed. The other vibrates with confidence and grows. The situation is the same, but their vibrational fields create completely different realities. We might then say to ourselves, I just need to change my feelings and thoughts. But it's not that simple, because something deeper controls this process. Behind emotions and thoughts lies a force that silently shapes your vibrations and reactions to life. And almost no one talks about it. The secret that science and the ancient masters have hidden in one place, in sounds and words. This barely perceptible force acts daily, without interruption or respite. It is present when you think, but also when you speak. And here begins the part that almost no one has revealed to you. Your vibration isn't created solely by your emotions. It's shaped, amplified, and guided primarily by the words you speak. And while it may sound simple, the effect on your vibrational field is profound. Every time you speak, you emit a frequency into the room. This isn't a metaphor. The science of cymatics has already demonstrated that sound creates visible shapes in matter. Simple experiments with sand and sound vibrations create perfect geometric patterns. Sound organizes chaos. Now think with me. If sound can organize inert particles, imagine its impact on your living, pulsating and conscious energy field. Every word you speak triggers a vibrational pattern, and that pattern doesn't disappear when you stop speaking. It resonates within your field, creates a resonance, and begins to attract realities that match that frequency. But this is precisely what separates those who understand vibrations from those who simply repeat empty words. It's not the word itself that creates the vibrational effect. It's the emotion that causes it. You can say peace 1,000 times, but if fear vibrates deep within you, your field doesn't radiate peace. That's conflict. You can say I am grateful, but if you feel empty, your field doesn't radiate gratitude. It radiates lack. That's why so many people repeat positive affirmations and feel like nothing is changing. Because it's not about memorizing beautiful phrases. It's about feeling the true vibration of what you're saying. The ancient masters knew this. That's why in their traditions the use of words was sacred. They didn't speak just for the sake of speaking. Every sound had a clear meaning. Every word had a purpose. These were not empty words, for they knew that words are tools of creation, not just communication. And when we speak of vibration, we are not just referring to the sound frequency our ears perceive. We are referring to the invisible field that a word activates when spoken with sincere intention. And in this, mystical traditions have kept one of their most powerful secrets for generations. There is a type of sound that isn't simply spoken. It's sung. And singing has a vibrational power infinitely stronger than speech. Because when you sing, you don't just emit sounds. You transmit your body, your emotions, your intentions, and your energy in a continuous flow. And this flow creates a vibration capable of piercing the dense layers of your energy, field and reorganizing frequencies that have been blocked for years. But this type of singing isn't just a melody. They aren't empty words thrown to the wind. They are primordial sounds that transmit ancient cosmic frequencies, sounds that have survived for millennia, protected by secret traditions because, if misused, they can cause dangerous imbalances. And why was it sung and not simply spoken? Because the vibration of the song, carried by breath and emotions, creates a continuous wave of energy, capable of penetrating deeper into the vibrational field. The spoken words have an effect. Conscious chanting has depth. But wait a moment. Not all chanting has this effect. There is a sound that is transmitted only between initiates, a sound whose vibration is so strong that a single repetition is enough to realign a person's vibrational field, and that's when your journey reaches a new level. For what you are about to discover is not a spiritual theory. It's a true vibrational practice, and once you understand what this sound is and how to chant it consciously, you'll understand why it has been preserved for so many centuries. For it wasn't repetition that produced the effect, it was precision. It was purity of intention and vibration. The ancient mystics, the silent alchemists, and the desert priests all knew this. They sang certain sounds only once, because a single conscious vibration was enough to reorganize the singer's entire energy field. Imagine, instead of rehearsing hundreds of times in the hope that something would change, they would silently prepare, clear their minds, align their intention, and emit the sound at the precise moment. And as this sound resonated, not only did the air vibrate, but also the body, the mind, the energy field, and the surrounding space. Everything harmonized with this frequency, not because the sound itself was magical, but because the one chanting it was already in tune with what it represented. It resembles Om, which has survived in Vedic traditions for millennia, or Ra, present in the solar cultures of Egypt and in civilizations seeking connection with the divine. These sounds were not mere cultural symbols. They activated the deep energy centers of the body and the human vibrational field. They were not recited mechanically. They were felt in every cell in the chest and vibrated within the vibrational field. And what happened when this was done correctly? Something that seemed simple on the outside but transformed everything on the inside. The vibration reorganized the energy centers, dissolved invisible blockages, and raised the vibrational field to a frequency free of fear and guilt. It was as if the person ceased their low vibrational cycles and returned to their original state, free, full, and conscious. Why did these traditions prohibit the unnecessary repetition of this sound? Because the frequency had already been freed. The vibrational field had already been reorganized, and all the person had to do next was consciously maintain that vibration. Repeating for the sake of repeating would be like trying to turn on a light that's already on. It's pointless. Worse still, it could create noise and unbalance what is already harmonious. But there's one thing almost no one knows. Among all the sounds that have crossed civilizations and cultures, there is one in particular, a sound that is not just a word or a banal chant. It is a primordial frequency revealed by Thoth as the starting point for the reorganization of human vibrations. A sound so powerful that simply chanting it once with the right intention and awareness can produce a noticeable change in the body, mind, and vibrational field. Sing this once, and your vibration will never be the same. Before every word, before every sound, there is an invisible door you must pass through. And that door is not outside you. It is found in the silence. Not in the silence of your surroundings, but in the silence of your inner vibration. For in that empty space, where thoughts dissolve and the breath finds a moment of stillness, emerges the purest frequency in the universe. This place has been known by many names for millennia, but all refer to the same vibrational state, the 0 point. The 0 point is not a physical location. It is a state where your energy is neither fixed in the past nor preoccupied with the future. It is in the absolute present moment, where the mind is calm and only presence remains. Upon reaching this state, your vibrational field stops emitting distorted sounds. It becomes clear. Reorganize and create space so that every frequency you release from now on is pure and fully transmitted, without interference, without blockages, without unconscious filters that usually distort everything you emit. And why is this so important? Because if you try to sing this sacred frequency with fear, haste, or anticipation, it will not vibrate as it should. It will be contaminated by your inner turmoil. But when you sing in silence, when the vibration comes from this space that is both empty and full, the sound doesn't just come from your mouth. It radiates from your entire field. It vibrates in your chest, resonates through your skin, penetrates your energy field, and creates a wave that resonates in the space around you. It's like the calm water of a lake. If you throw a stone into a choppy lake, the ripples will spread chaotically, fragmented and irregularly. On the other hand, if you throw the same stone into a calm, still lake, the ripples will spread in perfectly harmonious circles and reach much greater distances. The vibration of sacred sound works in the same way. If your inner world is calm, the frequency reaches the deepest layers of your being. On the other hand, if your mind is agitated, it barely rises above the surface. This is why the ancient masters spent so much time in silence. Before emitting the sound, they did it not for a spiritual demonstration, but because they knew that silence is the most powerful vibrational preparation there is. In doing so, you relinquish control. Silence your ego and allow the frequency to act on its own. You are not trying to manipulate the vibration. You are becoming its channel. The exercise is simple yet profound. You close your eyes, breathe deeply, and simply feel for a few moments. Feel the pause between one thought and the next. Feel the space between one breath and the next. There's no need to force anything. Silence comes naturally when you stop looking for it and simply let it come. And in that state, something within you begins to align, as if every part of your psychic field remembers its true frequency, the one hidden behind the mental noise. And now that you have passed through this door, that your inner silence has prepared your ground, the long-awaited moment has arrived, for it is precisely in this state that you are ready to release the sacred frequency for the first time. And what happens when that sound first resonates in your vibrational field is indescribable, but not in a forced or mechanical way. This sound doesn't arise from a mental attempt to find the perfect note. It arises naturally from within, from that silent space that pulses in the center of your chest. That space most people have never consciously accessed. From that moment on, the most powerful sound of all revealed itself. A frequency that is not just a pretty sound or a self-repeating mantra. It is a primordial sound, pure, and its name is Ra. Yes, Ra, not as a word but as a vibration. When you chant Ra, you are not just creating a sound. You release the solar frequency, the vibration of pure consciousness that flows through your energy field like a wave of light. It's as if every cell remembers that it was created to vibrate in harmony. Not superficially, but deep within. Imagine how all the tensions, fears, and vibrational blockages accumulated throughout your life suddenly reorganize themselves, not because you want to force change, but because this vibration does what it has always done. It restores the original order. The Ra vibration is the sound that reconnects your field to the creative source. It brings life, expansion, and clarity. It is the frequency of conscious awakening. And the most amazing thing is that it doesn't need to be repeated 1,000 times, like an endless practice. He clearly showed that just once, practiced with full presence, is enough to rewrite the foundations of one's own vibration. For it is not the number of repetitions that produces the transformation, but the depth of awareness with which one sings. The true frequency doesn't need to be repeated, because it already contains the order your field is looking for. And what happens when you chant Ra with this awareness? First, you feel it in your body, not as something light or fleeting. It's as if every cell is answering the call, as if something long forgotten is awakening and saying, "You're finally back." Then you feel it in your energy field. It expands like a silent wave, breaking through whatever was blocked. Your breathing changes, your mind calms, your body relaxes, and suddenly, the world around you seems lighter, clearer, more authentic. And that's not all. The universe responds. Because when you emit this frequency, your energy signature changes. It's as if you change the direction of your life, and everything around you begins to vibrate at the same level. Situations, people, opportunities. This doesn't mean that life becomes magical overnight. It means that you are no longer trapped in the unconscious cycle that kept you afloat. Now you're vibrating consciously. And the universe is responding to your conscious vibration, not your hidden fear. But no one tells you anything. Chanting this frequency changes everything. However, it's not enough to chant it once and unconsciously return to your daily life, because the outside world remains noisy, distracting, and saturated with interference. And if you don't know how to maintain that vibration amidst the daily chaos, it will fade, not because the frequency disappears, but because you stop maintaining it. Here's how to maintain a high vibration. Simple and effective daily exercises. Maintaining that vibration isn't magic. It's a daily choice, even when everything around you is trying to bring you back to your old vibration, because the world remains the same, but you now vibrate differently. And this difference must be cultivated daily in simple, practical, and deeply conscious ways. This is where the practices the ancient masters never abandoned come into play. They knew that a high vibrational state is not a few minutes of emotional euphoria. It is an energetic field that is built in the calm of our daily actions. The first practice is conscious breathing, not the rushed breathing of everyday life. This means pausing, closing your eyes, and breathing deeply. Feel the air fill your body. Then exhale and release any weight that's weighing you down. Conscious breathing instantly reorganizes your nervous system and balances your vibrations. It's simple, but few people do it in full presence. Next comes connecting with nature. You don't have to live in nature to feel it. Simply put your feet on the ground. Feel the wind on your skin. Listen to the birds singing, rather than the sound of traffic. Nature has a pure, constant vibration that effortlessly rebalances your energy field. It's as if by connecting to the vibration of the earth, your energy field remembers who it really is. Here's another key: powerful words. These are not phrases learned by heart, but rather affirmations that you truly feel as you say them. Words like "I am light," "I am presence," "My energy is free." Spoken with sincerity, they amplify the vibrational field you have activated. Each word vibrates in your field like a reminder. You already are what you seek. And finally, vibrational visualization. Close your eyes and imagine lights swirling around your body. Golden, white, or blue lights purify and protect your field. This is not a childish idea. Quantum physics has already shown that your brain does not distinguish between physical reality and the reality Visualize by authentic emotions. When you visualize with intention, your field responds. These practices are neither complicated nor inaccessible. They are tools you can use in the midst of daily stress. Whenever you notice a fluctuation in your vibration, they purify your energy field and help you maintain a high frequency, even when external chaos tries to drag you down. But there is something deeper that few know about. For even with these practices, an invisible noise can arise and drain your energy without you realizing it. And this is precisely why the great masters spent so much time in silence. Not because they had nothing to say, but because they discovered that silence has its own vibration, a frequency so high that it recharges your energy effortlessly. In true silence, there is no need to search. There is no fear. This is the space where thoughts cease, and your vibration returns to its original state without your intervention. The Tibetans knew this. The masters of the desert experienced it. In silence, without words or thoughts, your energy recharges, like a spring gushing forth from the void. But this silence isn't the absence of external noise. It's inner silence. The silence where your mind isn't screaming, where your emotions aren't overwhelming you, where you simply are. And therein lies the practice most forget. For in today's world, where everything is projected outward, stopping and remaining still seems like a luxury. But it's a necessity. For in this empty space, your vibration finds rest and recovery. And the best part, it doesn't take hours, just a few minutes a day. No phone, no distractions, no outside stimuli, just you, your breath, and the silence vibrating in your field. And when you wake up from this state, something has changed. You are no longer the same. Your vibration has been restored. Your field of vision is clear and your perception is sharp. However, one subtle detail can still elevate or destroy your vibration. This detail is the environment you live in. An environment that, without you realizing it, can destroy or strengthen everything you have just built. Final exercise: how to seal in your high vibration and never back down. There's no point in keeping yourself quiet by chanting and breathing correctly if the environment you live in is constantly draining your energy. Your vibrational field is open, and no matter how much you strengthen your inner world, it's constantly interacting with your environment, and this interaction is happening without you even realizing it. Chaotic places, negative people, constant noise. All of this acts like invisible waves in your field, gradually destabilizing your frequency. At first, you won't even notice it, but over time, the acquired lightness fades. Think about it with me. Have you ever felt a strange heaviness when you enter a chaotic, dark and tense place? Or have you noticed how much lighter you feel when you walk into a clean, uncluttered room where the air is even more breathable? This is no coincidence. It's the ambient vibration. Your vibrational field seeks balance with the environment in which it operates. And if the environment vibrates weakly, your vibrational field also begins to decline. Therefore, creating a vibrational sanctuary is not a luxury. It's a necessity. And I'm not talking about building a physical temple. I'm talking about attuning your space to your new vibration. Start by cleaning. A clean, airy, and organized environment naturally raises your frequency. Then add harmonious sounds, soft instrumental music, nature sounds, and mantras at the appropriate frequency. Sound organizes the energy of a space, just as it organizes your inner field. Now let's move on to natural scents like lavender, rosemary, or sandalwood. Aromas act directly on the nervous system, changing your emotional vibration without you having to think about it. And to take this even further, use crystals like rock crystal, amethyst, and black tourmaline. Each vibrates at a specific frequency and helps keep the energy of the space clean and protected. Physics has already shown that each environment has its own vibrational field and that we automatically synchronize with it. Therefore, a high vibration in our environment supports our high frequency, even when the day is difficult and challenges lie ahead. But so far, we've only laid the groundwork. The most important moment is coming. The step that anchors this vibration in your vibrational field as a natural state. Because it's not enough to raise your frequency once. You have to anchor it. Make it your new vibrational base so that it doesn't change with every external challenge. And that's where the last exercise comes in. It's not a new exercise, nor is it just another complex technique. This is the simplest yet most demanding practice, radical presence. Live consciously in the here and now. Breathe deeply when chaos strikes. Don't run away from reality, but remain fully in it. Maintain your own vibration no matter what. Radical presence prevents you from being burdened by the past or paralyzed by the future. This keeps you vibrating at the 0 point, where everything happens and everything can be recreated. When you breathe consciously in the midst of chaos, when you feel your vibration, even in the face of difficulty, you anchor that state forever. And from then on, it doesn't matter what the outside world does to you. Your vibration no longer depends on it. It is born from your center and remains there. And the ancients already knew this. The secret does not lie in the incessant search for mystical experiences. It lies in the daily living of what you have silently awakened. For the universe does not react to your specific actions. Respond to what you nurture daily until it becomes your nature. Your vibration will not be a passing peak. It will be permanent, not because of your efforts, but because you chose to anchor it within yourself. And when that happens, the entire universe responds. If you've come this far, it's because something within you recognized this truth. So go for it. Write in the comments. I've activated my original vibration. This message isn't just for me. It allows you to declare your altered frequency and leave this energy here so that others can also feel this awakening. And if you'd like to help the channel spread this message as widely as possible, you'll find an exclusive link in the first pinned comment where you can contribute directly and support the creation of similar content. Every contribution helps this vibration reach those who need it most. And before you go, pay attention. I have a special video for you to continue this journey. It's already on screen. Click so we can join in and delve even deeper into this vibrational path.